So hello everyone, welcome to another TEW2020 video. You joined us today for the second one where hopefully the audio won't be too terrible as we tackle our July event, which is AEW Battle of the Belts number 2. Full boosts on here, money's been spent wisely on that, and I feel it's very fitting in the space of a year. We saw Wardlow involved in a Lucha Underground Gift of the Gods Championship match, the second match where he lost in that fatal 4-way to A-Kid, and he will challenge in the main event for the AEW World Championship against Jon Moxley. We're also going to have Mercdes Varnado defend the AEW Women's World Championship against Baylee Rose, the winner of the own. It'll be interesting to see how those two rivals go. A lot of people missing off the card, which is fair enough. As I say, we are just slowly but surely getting things back on the road to All Out. We've got a few shows in quick succession. These things can happen, but hopefully, as I say, over the next two events, the one at the tail end of July, which will be Fight for the Fallen, the one at the start of August, which is unnamed. I'll think of something we can put in, gimmick it some way. And then of course the last week of August we are on the road to All Out. And then after that you've got the Dynamite Anniversary show, you've also got the Arthur Ashe Stadium, the Grand Slam, and then we head on the road to Full Gear. But we're going to have a bit of a transition period as well. A few wrestlers have told us they can only work events because of their physical decline. So we are going to see people transition probably into a lesser role and a more, probably on screen as much because they'll be carrying it with promos, but in terms of actually wrestling it may be limited to what it was before. But it's a changing of the guard, that means there's plenty of opportunities, and if you watched our last episode you'd be well aware that there is a lot in the ranks and developmental, and of course we're still just constantly hoping that Impact Wrestling does fall into debt, although worryingly enough they obviously have Bound for Glory soon, and then you imagine they might get back to a positive, solid footing. So strap yourself in, relax, chill for a bit, as we're going to crack on with Battle of the Belts number 2. Let's do it. So we start the show at the FedEx Field with something a little bit different for the 61,000 fans in attendance. Commentary team, of course, which is Excalibur, Mauro Ranallo and Pat McAfee, are going to talk about your Battle of the Belts 2 main event for the AEW World Championship, as the ring general Walter will take on Jon Moxley. This should be a brawl for the ages. Disappointing it only got a 59, so we know if we use this we are going to have to use confrontations, but we do have one later on in the show. Straight into the action, and we had a match up for the IWGP United States Heavyweight title. Two fantastic prospects that are pretty much upper mid-card to main event level guys now, and about the had superb wrestling and great heat. Darby Allin defeated Sammy Guevara in 1731 with a coffin drop, giving him his third defence of the IWGP US Championship. 83 despite the great chemistry and the good ratings, that psychology takes a lot out of it, but if we keep giving them matches, keep working with solid pros, that will eventually eviscerate, and we'll be able to get these guys into 86, 87 rated matches against each other. I do feel both guys are though a victim of popularity caps, but the future is bright, and it was good to give them this match up against each other for that Alliance belt. So you can see they're just explaining that, obviously the issues with the psychology, etc. Moving along to our next contest, the rematch, kinda, if you take out Kip Sabian for the Lucha Underground Championship. And a good matchup. Kyle O'Reilly took the title with a win over Sami Zayn in 1812 with an ankle lock, so submission victory, new Lucha Underground champion. I tried to see if we could maybe score higher with the 79 because Kyle has obviously a really good technical start, so I did make this one a technical masterclass, but unfortunately couldn't surpass the 79. Mixed Tag Team Championships on the line next is the two Englishmen, but Englishmen and Englishwomen combined, Newcastle and Southampton. And a superb matchup, Becky Quinn and Tyler Black defeat Jamie Hayter and Pac in 1819 when Tyler pinned Pac with the curb stomp, and Becky and Tyler make the 6th defence of the Mixed Tag Team Championship. So just giving someone else a chance. Jamie Hayter getting a little bit stale there, but I do want to try and work some sort of programme, potentially with Black and Pac. 78 rated, not too bad, and hopefully adds a bit more prestige to the AEW Mixed Tag Team Championship belts. Zero X Championship was on the line next, and it was a good wrestling match. Great heat, great wrestling even. Buddy Matthews with a win over Flamita in 11:42 with a silver bullet. Still a show match, 78. Maybe could have been a bit longer, and that's maybe why we only got the 78 with 284s, but great chemistry, which was nice to find out. And yeah, House of Black are doing well. Buddy Matthews picking up the win. It was me just wondering if potentially it was a poor, unlucky roll, or it could have been a road agent issue or something. But overall, 78. And the match, of course, was agented by someone who needs no introduction to the X Division, which of course is Chris Sabin. Next on the list was more stuff from the House of Black as the Kings of the Black Throne cut a promo, and they just basically say they are going to be working and due a tag team title shot in the future after beating Santana and Ortiz, and they're basically saying keep those championships warm for them because they are going to be after them. So 77 and the tag championships will be on the line later on, I'm sure about that. Honestly can't remember if I did, but I'm pretty sure that was match up. Might even be next. No, it was the Trios Championships. So we'd about had decent wrestling and not a lot of heat. But Barrio Cavanaro, Santos, Fantasma and Raul Mendoza picked up the win over Aussie Open, and their new partner in this one was Trevor Lee in 12:03 when Cavanaro submitted Trevor Lee with La Cavanaria. So third defence of the Lucha Underground's Trios Championships. Truthfully, I've maybe not pushed them and used them as much as I should have, but there is going to be something, a programme that happens that hopefully can see the best out of them. We've got some good trios, some higher up in the ranks than others, but hopefully combatively they can make something decent go down. But certainly still pretty decent with a few work in progress overnists. However, we did say that there was going to be an introduction to AEW, and that has happened here. The Great O'Khan has made his presence known as he joins the Beatdown alongside Jeff Cobb and Aussie Open as the United Empire beat down Santos, Raul, and somewhere was Bavaria as well. But 49, sorry for the segments, are not the greatest in the world, but we need to build them up in America, and that's what we're going to plan to do here. And Warlord gimmick for Great O'Khan get great, and we also changed Jeff Cobb heel, which was a complete success after 4 segments. So far, so good. Pretty average show, but it's things can only pick up with some of the high key matches we've got later on in the evening. But pretty happy with that one. As I say, it is just going to have 2 strong tag teams. We might bring Ospreay in, obviously not in a permanent deal, but alone. 2 big behemoths took to the stage as they battled for the TNT Championship, and a decent matchup here. Wardlow picks up the win over Jonah in 11:51 with a Splash Mountain Powerbomb, giving him his 6th defence of the AEW title. I feel like Wardlow at times I've not utilised him great. Maybe need some more opponents that'll bring some bangers out of him. But a 78 and another defence of the belts. Moving along, AEW Women's Tag Team Championships on the line, and it was a decent matchup that saw Kana and Takuma Iroha defeat Abaddon and Max the Impaler in 8:06 when Kana submitted Abaddon with the Kana lock. 5th defence for them and a 75 rated matchup. We've just put Abaddon and Max together. They're starting to really click. As you can see there, Max getting better at her gimmick, but she's building up the overness, and Abaddon's skill set not the best, but I feel look wise these two are absolutely perfect for each other, and as I say, it's a definite work in progress for those two in my humble opinion. But you can see there Iroha has just been excellent, and the fact her and Kana have the excellent chemistry just boosts even more. But you can see there Abaddon lacking psychology and inexperience, so she just needs a lot more matches, which is fine. She'll get that under our tutelage, and hopefully we can keep utilising her show after show after show. Next up was the Shine Championship on the line, and this one was obviously the kind of workhorse belt on the Rampage brand for the women's division. And the experienced Serena Deeb put it on the line against Elena Black in singles competition for once, and she wins in 11:41 with a double underhook DDT. So giving her a real push as a babyface here. No Cora Jade here, but a 75, some good stuff here. And well, it's not been good so far for the Danielson Fight Dojo. We made it storytelling as well. But yeah, is it just going to be a case of a bad night for the Danielson Fight Dojo? Because the main two, Garcia and Danielson, were in a fatal 4-way match for the AEW Tag Team Championships, and it was the Cult of Lucha who defeated the Guns FTR and Danielson and Garcia in 13:33 when Hijo del Vikingo pinned Cash Wheeler with a 6:30 splash. 7th defence of the tag titles. Vikingo off his game, but we're going to continue to get him over to the level of Penta. He's got the skill set. He's had lots of great solo matches, but maybe not quite the overness in America. But a 79, and Danielson and Garcia were unable to pick up the victory in this instance, as I begin to yawn. But I feel at the moment, a couple of luchas the team we need to push. The frustrating part is here, everybody else in this matchup, bar Daniel Garcia and El Hijo del Vikingo, is over 40. So at one time you do need to start to phase in your next generation. It's just one of those things, sadly, which is the case. But hopefully, as I say, we can get better and better. After the matchup, Danielson just gives a few words to Garcia and just says his body's breaking down. It's time for Daniel to get out on his own. He's going to be more supportive as like a manager type. He is still going to wrestle, but that's only going to have to be month by month. And we have asked Daniel if he wants to be a manager. He's happy to do that. So yeah, we're going to lose Danielson, and I confirm the one we're losing to that is CM Punk, which by the time this goes live, I think AEW probably have lost CM Punk in general. Maybe in future don't have press conferences where someone's completely full and high of adrenaline, and these things don't happen. But looking forward to see what Danielson does. Just a really solid hand we're going to lose. AEW Women's World Championship was on the line, and about they had superb wrestling and great heat, and they had great chemistry together, which boosted both their performances. But here we saw a victory for Mercdes Varnado in 14:04 by submission with a bank statement. Second defence of the belt. 83 could have been a bit better, but we made this one steal the show, and that's why it was only 14 minutes, because these went all out to have a very good matchup. But we made sure we got the 100 rating in a segment, because Jade Cargill came down and said she doesn't give a shit. She wants her championship back, and she wants a one-on-one matchup at All Out. So we're booking that one in early. All Out, the rematch, Mercdes Varnado, Jade Cargill for the AEW Women's World Championship. And that means if a good main event happens, we could be on for a very solid show rating. So no pressure, Jon Moxley. No pressure, Walter. One of these has very good psychology, and they could be the man that could carry us to a very spectacular show. But looking forward to it, and you can see there, exceptional matchup. Moxley defeats Walter in 21:53, the Death Rider, and he makes his first defence of the belt. So great challenger. Walter with 95. If I get him in with somebody that he's got excellent chemistry with, Walter can be hitting 100s. But great stuff for these two. He's got the psychology stat. He's over. Probably down the line, he would look to be world champion, and the only fear is he is in that upper echelon of 30 plus as well. And after the match, MJF makes his return after a month away, and he beats the crap out of Moxley and holds up the World Championship. So 78, the Slime Ball is back with his Burberry scarf, and MJF is showing that he wants to become champion again. Whether that title match happens before All Out or at All Out remains to be seen, because Kevin Steen has still to get his opportunity. And as you can see there, despite a very average show, with not too much in the light blue, that segment, that main event, and all those boosts for celebrities, etc., gives us a 99, one away from the perfect 100 score, and increases our popularity in 56 regions. So I always encourage people, if you get to the future and you're in a position where you can utilise all the money in the world, then sure as hell just put the boosts in, get your share the best chance of getting 100 show for the achievement. So I'll call it there. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully the audio will be back to normal in future episodes. It's been interesting trying to basically fit everything in the time frame I would have said it previously. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Check out the Fighting Spooker subreddit and the Grey Dog Software forums, and I'll see you next week for normal audio, hopefully, for Fight for the Fallen. Take it easy. I will see you soon. Bye bye.